Hello my friends, I'm Rich Larson and I'm the IRC Tire Guy. Today we'll be finishing the 2001 YZ250 bike build. If you haven't seen the first few setup videos on this bike, hit the link in the description to check those out. As a quick refresher, we bought this 2001 YZ250 for just over $1,200 for our IRC tire boss, Mark Ikeda. We wanted to show you guys how easy and inexpensive a simple trail bike build can be. Remember, these are the minimum things I do to set this bike up for some technical trail riding. I have to say, after this build, I'm beyond impressed with how simple and inexpensive this actually was. The fact is, the YZ250 hasn't had too many changes in the last 20 years. Obviously, the biggest was the aluminum frame in 2005, and then the addition of the wide ratio transmission and some other changes in 2016 to the YZ250X for off-road competition. The fact is, in the early 2000s, the YZ250 had the strongest engine in the two-stroke 250 class. And they haven't done much to the engine since then. After testing it a bit, this absolutely holds true. This nearly 20-year-old machine is a bit of a beast, making it a perfect bike for the average guy to buy and build into exactly what he needs for around $3,000. Truthfully, 95% of the average guys will be much happier building a bike for $3,000 than buying a brand new one for $11,000. And it's even more true for me after this build. So let's get into it. This is what we did to get this machine up to that off-road snuff that we need. Now, again, this is a steel frame 2001 YZ250. It is a supercross bike. I immediately think Jeremy McGrath when I see it. So here's some things that we had to do for the more technical slow speed riding. When you say slow speed, I immediately think tires and drivetrain. Of course, it's an IRC build, so we had to add some IRC tires. Because this is a trail bike and it will hit some technical sections, we went with the IX09W front and our most well-rounded rear tire, the VE33S Gakota. Your bike is only as good as the contact point with the ground. So you have to run a tire that you trust and you know how it will perform. And I know the VE33S Gakota. Now the VE33S Hybrid Gummy only comes in an 18-inch rear. In stock, this machine has a 19-inch rear. So SRT Off-Road hooked it up with some matching front and rear rims, including the 18-inch rear that is absolutely better for off-road. The more sidewall, the better for those sharp technical sections. After mounting the tire with SRT moose bibs as well for that no flat ride, we head straight to the drivetrain. So we start simple with the sprockets. We changed the gearing from the stock 1450 to a 1250. This adds a lot of that bottom end snap that we need and adds that luggability to the drivetrain. After testing, this was a great choice. It has some serious snap. With the addition of the new sprockets, we had to add the best possible chain. A DID chain, to me, is the most trusted. Your bike is only as good as the contact patch with the ground, which is the tires. And those tires are only as good as your drivetrain. Now, the YZ250 is a quick revving bike. The power band is super strong and comes on fast. To slow down and smooth out the power, we added a steely 12-ounce flywheel weight. This really makes a more usable power, especially in the off-road. It also helps keep the bike from stalling and really helps hold traction in those technical situations. I'm sure you've heard me talk about the loading the flywheel technique over and over. I've gone in depth on this in the past, and if you haven't already seen that technique, check it out. The link is in the description. A heavier flywheel equals more stored spinning kinetic energy in the engine, adding the ability to load the flywheel before the obstacle, then use the inertia from the RPMs to pull the machine through technical situations without spinning the tire. I use it every day when I ride, and the addition of the flywheel to this bike made a big difference. Next, we want to make sure the power is crisp and clean. We went with a new set of V-Force 3 reeds and a JD jetting kit for the car. These made a big difference in a smoother, longer power. We also added the full FMF exhaust, making it sound super crisp, and this thing really barks. In the handling department, it was valved a little bit stiff for the technical situations. suspensions. I had a local shop called the Moto Station here in SLC do a simple service on both the forks and the shock, as well as soften the valving on top to have the bike sit a little deeper into the stroke through those technical sections. You can find a local suspension shop that can really do simple requests for very little money. The Moto Station definitely helped us out and made the bike ride really smooth. In addition, we added a new set of stock bend ODI handlebars and grips. I prefer the stock bend for the most well-rounded performance, as well as SXS handguard flags and a slide plate for protection. This plate protects the linkage and the frame. It's the only plate that I've ran for years, so make sure to grab one of those. Of course, we had to make the bike look good with new plastics and a seat, as well as some custom graphics from Rapid Utah. It looks awesome, and I really like the addition of the Japanese/American flag. This was a simple budget build that anybody can do. For sure, this bike was a steal of a deal, but with a little time and effort, it still holds up. Yamaha made an awesome bike, and after a short test, I absolutely could adjust this thing and fully ride hard enduro. The more time I put in training hard enduro, the more I realize it's about the time you put in and not the trick parts on your bike. This was a fun build, and I hope Mark enjoys it. If you guys are enjoying the channel, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, as well as follow us on Instagram at IRC Moto and my personal page at RichLarson511. And until next time, keep shredding.